The next gesture is going to have two names for the same position, if you will, which I historically don't understand. The most common name is play guitar. So play guitar pretty much looks like this. I'm going to be in a cat stance. So I'm either going to be on the ball of the foot depending on which form that I'm doing. And in this one here, we're going to be on the heel. So playing guitar would mean that my left hand is forward and my right hand is retracted. If I switch my stance and put my right hand forward, this is called lifting hands. Again, I don't know anything about the history as to why they changed the names. To me, there's left-handed guitar players, so why not just call this play guitar regardless of which hand is out front? But because we're doing the long form, the first introduction of that particular gesture is called lifting hands. It comes up after the single whip. So I'm going to do it in the direction of the form and then we'll detail it. Alright, so for now, doing the common direction of the form, we would have ended up with a single whip in that direction, and it's a very, very simple gesture, not a lot to it. It's just kind of like a transition gesture. So I'm going to just shift all my weight forward to my left leg, I'm going to open my hook, drop it down, and bring your hands literally to your hips. And now your front foot is forward, so this is a variation of a cat stance, but it's really called a T stance. And the reason it's called a T stance is because if I put my heel down, I form a T. Looking at it from this particular angle, when I bring this foot in, my feet, if I put the heel down, forms literally a perpendicular T stance. So from the single whip, I'm going to go to that T stance, shift my weight forward, release my hook, bring my hands literally to my hips, and I'm on the ball of my right foot all the way to my left foot. From here, all I'm simply going to do is just extend my right heel, touch the floor lightly, and lift my hands. So my hands are going to be in a position like this. Not to worry, I'm going to change so you can see it. But I just wanted to do this in the direction of the form first. I always like to kind of start there to give you a visual as to where you're going. So if I'm in a single whip over here, it means that I started the form in the uncommon direction, and the name will change to play guitar because my left hand will be extended. So from my good bow stance, simply shift forward, release the hook, let your hands come down to your hips as you turn, get your new Zen point over here. I'm in a T stance, my hands are on my hips, and then I'm basically just going to extend my left heel and bring my hands up into play guitar. So now do this coming towards you so you can see what's going on from this angle. So from here, I'm going to shift forward and drop my hands. As I do this, I'm going to look to my right, set up my T stance. My hands are literally relaxed down at my side. Simply extend the right foot, but keep your T stance. You're going to feel some work going on in that left leg. And just bring them up. So here's the connection. Again, we're seeing another place where three things move at once. Lifting the hands, touching lightly. So there's no weight in that front foot. Again, test the ice. Nothing in it. All right. Doing this from the other direction. From here, I'm basically going to shift and release the hook, look to my left, get my T stance, hands down to the side, and because we're doing the uncommon direction of the form, this is play guitar. From the single whip, shift, open the hook, slide the foot in, here's your T stance, lightly touch the ground. This is playing guitar. So now I'll do the gestures in 6 different angles so that you can follow along. Starting with the normal direction, single whip, shift forward, open the hook, look to your right, get your new Zen point, set up your T stance, lightly touch the ground, lifting hands. From another direction, shift forward, open the hook, look to the right, get your T stance, lifting hands. Again, be mindful that there's no weight in that front foot, lightly touching the ground. Okay, because I'm facing you, I'm going to do it in the uncommon direction of the form, and you're going to follow along and mirror me. So your left hand is up, my right hand is up. All right, here we go. Shift forward, open the hook as you look to the left, set up your T stance, and lifting hands. Starting in the other side, in the uncommon direction of the form, we'd be in a right single whip to start. Shift forward, release the hook, look to your left, hands to your sides, T stance, and play guitar. All right, taking it from this angle, follow along, shift forward, look to your left, T stance, play guitar. Facing you, mirror me, you're going to be in a right single whip. Shift forward, look to your left, and play guitar. The shoulder bump or shoulder stroke is sort of combined with the lifting hands or play guitar because it's a great transition gesture between the lifting hands and white crane spreads wings. It's also a very good counter for pushing hands. If somebody tries to execute a pluck on you, you can redirect and off-balance your opponent easily without a lot of adjusting. So basically it looks like this. We finished with lifting hands. I'm going to do it in different directions. Again, this is really, really simple. All we're going to do is just retract our right foot, bring it up, even with the ground, and you're going to twist your body at the same time. Because basically what we're trying to do is align our shoulder in the direction of our opponent, or in the case of the form, towards the front. So we start with lifting hands, turn, drop the hands down, lift your right leg. Now my shoulder is directly in front of me. When I put my foot back down, I'm going to put it right back to where it was a second ago, but instead of it being straight ahead like we had it for the lifting hands, we're going to put it back, but we're going to point it to the corner 45 degrees because we're going to establish a bow stance in that direction. Even though our shoulder bump is straight ahead, we still want a good base from there. So from this position here, when I pull my foot back, as I reset my foot, I'm going to bring my left hand up, and this just acts like a supporting hand. So in addition to having a shoulder to bump with, if I need to, I can also push with this hand, or I can release a very strong push if I have to. So putting all of that together, I'm in a T stance. Pull this foot back, the right foot back, turn your center to this side, reset the foot, bring up a guarding hand, point your toes to the corner, shift your weight. Now I have 100% of my weight in my right leg. If I pick up this back one, there's nothing back here. I've got support for it if I need it, but I'm basically rooted on my right leg in order for me to set up my next move, which would be the white crane. So let's take a look at the shoulder bump in a couple different angles. Starting from lifting hands in the common direction of the form, drop the hands, reset your center line over here, lift your leg, put your foot forward. You're still testing the ice, and your right foot is pointing 45 degrees to the corner in anticipation of a bow stance. Shift your weight to your right leg, do your shoulder bump, 100% of your weight in that right leg. Left leg is your yin leg. Taking a look from it over here, lifting hands, shift, turn your center line, reset your right foot, put up a supporting hand, point your toes to the corner, and execute your shoulder bump. No weight in the back foot.